Hello, friend. This is Pamela from Too Few Acres. So, with the economy the way it is, I figured I'd do a few recipes that was cheap and easy to make. I think I spent under $10 to make this dinner, and normally that's unheard of for something like this. I normally use au gratin potatoes, but I use sliced potatoes. I prefer the au gratin better, but in no way, shape, or form did that taste bad. It's just I like the au gratin better, the cheap one. I don't need fancy. So the sausage, normally I use kielbasa or just regular link sausage. It doesn't matter, but I picked this up. It was cheap, and it's one of our favorite sausages, so I used it. I used a leek instead of an onion. Um, I washed it and I cut the ends off so it's ready to go, and it won't let go of the bag there. That's okay. I put the sausage in the water, cold water, and I got it on high. But as soon as it starts to boil, I'll go ahead and put it down on medium. Here I'm putting the oven up to 450. My stove is not dirty. That is gunmetal gray. You can't wash it, or it does that. It gets just washes off. Um, it's not stainless steel, and I don't like it, and I plan on getting rid of it. So, but just letting you know that it is clean. So I'm waiting for the sausage to start to boil, and while I'm waiting, I'm cleaning my counter. I do that multiple times every time I cook, just to make sure the area is clean. I also wash my hands continuously. I think I washed my hands 7 times just doing this video. So here I'm showing you how to cut a leek. I cut it long ways. Now other people may do it differently, but I do it long ways, and then I slice it in smaller slices going across. Because you can see they kind of look like paper. And this is what the finishing slicing is just thin strips, small strips, pretty much. And I'll put the rest away in the fridge. You know, like I say, waste not, want not. And you don't have to add leek. You can add an onion. And you don't have to add an onion. You don't have to add anything. You can add jalapenos. I mean, you can do whatever. So here I'm putting it down on medium so that way it doesn't boil over. That's the trick. To keep things from boiling over, put it on medium heat once it starts to boil. So I'm doing everything with one hand. You know, my other hand is holding the camera. So I'm adding the hot water. Very difficult to do with one hand. But I'm adding the hot water, and I'm following the directions of the box ×2 because it's going to be 2 boxes. And then I'm adding the milk, again ×2 because it's 2 boxes. You always want to double if it's 2, triple if it's 3, and so on and so forth. But I didn't make a mess, just a little drip. I'm proud of myself. I'm a one-hand wonder when it comes to cooking, apparently. Okay, so now I'm adding the sauce, the cheesy sauce or whatever, and I'll mix it all up, and I'll just keep mixing and mixing and mixing until I see that everything's mixed together well, and it does take a minute. And I could do this in the pan, but I just think it's easier in the bowl. You can just kind of make sure that everything's all incorporated together correctly when you can see it better. And you see I'm just mixing. There, I'm finally done. So now I'm going to add the potato slices. This was quite difficult with one hand, as you can see here in a minute. I'm just getting it everywhere. That's why I wash my counters all the time. All the time. When I'm cooking. That way if something drops on it, the counter's not dirty. I don't cross-contaminate, nothing. I'm just letting them soak while I get the pan ready. And I spray the pan with nonstick spray. It's an old pan. I've had it for years. It's not pretty, but it's efficient. As you can see, it has cooked many meals. Used to be non-stick. Now it sticks. So I'm pouring everything in here and I'm just kind of spreading it out. Make it look better. So the way it cooks, absorbs that liquid. And you want to get everything underneath that liquid, where it's submerged. And so that way it doesn't get hard. And again, you can see me cleaning as I'm going. So I'm going to add the leek, which you can add onions, whatever you want with it. Just adding pepper here. You can pepper to taste. I don't add any salt of any sort to it until after it's done, because you never know with the seasonings. That was a new type of box of stuff I got, so cutting this thing was a pain with one hand. Now this is my husband's favorite meal, so that was another reason why I went ahead and did this recipe on here. And you can see I'm trying to figure out how to cut this thing. One hand. Now I did only cook it halfway because it's going to cook the rest of the way in the oven and you don't want it to dry out. So if you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe. And, you know, I hope to see you guys around in the community and maybe, you know, we can do a little chatting. I'm just kind of showing you what it looks like before it goes in the oven. And then I'll show you what it looks like after.